Peace. This is Wise Words Media back at y'all for another round. And fight fans, we here. We finally here. It is fight day between Terrence Crawford and Israel Madrimov. But it's not only that, man. This is one of the most stacked cards I've ever seen in boxing history, man. Like, there's about 3 fights that you can take and have your own night of boxing. They could headline their own night of boxing, about 3 of these fights. And we were supposed to also get Tim Tszyu versus Virgil Ortiz on this card. How are you fitting that in here? But, you know, due to the gash that Tim Tszyu received during his fight against Fedora, the doctors haven't cleared him for contact. So they thought he would be cleared around this time, so that fight got scratched. But that would have also been a part of this card. Got to take a moment out to thank His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh for putting this card together, just like he did the 5-on-5 with Matchroom and Queensberry. Like, he's performing miracles in boxing, man. He's putting together some great cards, having promoters that never worked with each other work with each other finally, and they're giving us some blockbuster boxing, man. Gotta love Riyadh season, what Turki Al-Sheikh and the Saudis are doing with boxing, man. Nothing but high praises for them, man. Love it. I love it. But anyway, yeah, you got fights, man, this whole night that can headline any night of boxing. For instance, you got the Cuban sensation, who Canelo Alvarez is scared of. That's another dude Canelo running from. David Morrell. David Morrell is making his debut at light heavyweight, right? So he's moving up to 175. We just seen Benavidez last month, a couple months ago, move up to 175. Let's see how Morrell looks. Does his power still translate at the higher weight class? And now that's another name you could throw in the mix with Benavidez. You could throw in the mix with Beterbiev. You could throw in the mix with Bivol. So now you add David Morrell, a part of that, man. That is going to be the Fantastic Four of boxing. Trust me, those 4 right there. That's gonna be. They're gonna give us some blockbuster fights, because all 4 of those men, they come forward, seek and destroy style. So yeah, that's gonna be great to see his debut, how he looks at a new weight class. Then you got Big Baby Miller versus the destroyer Andy Ruiz. Woof. That fight right there, that one right there, can headline its own night of boxing. Then you have the one that might be the one that takes the cake for the night, man. This one might be the one where right after the event or the next day after, we're going to be like, yo, that was the fight of the night. And we got El Rayo Venezuela versus Pitbull Cruz. That's going to be flames. That's going to be fireworks. Those are 2 people with Mexican heritage. You know that Azteca Warriors coming out. And them brothers is going to be up there throwing blows. So, you know they not going to underperform. That's going to be a great fight. Valenzuela is coming off his redemption against Chris Colbert. So, you know he's riding high. And Pitbull Cruz, man. Pitbull Cruz is the best Mexican boxer out today. Not Canelo. It is Pitbull Cruz. And Jesse Bam Bam Rodriguez is on the come up too. Watch out for him. But before right now, the best Mexican boxer, the face of Mexican boxing, Pitbull Cruz. Hands down. He reminds me a lot of one of my favorite boxers of all time, and that is Juan Manuel Marquez. He reminds me a lot of Marquez because Marquez was very methodical. He didn't just go in there. Yes, Marquez fought Mexican style. It's in his blood. It just comes naturally. But he was very tactical with it. Like, he would switch levels. He would counterpunch. He wasn't overly aggressive. He was a thinker in the ring. And I love that about Marquez, man. Marquez was such a thinker. He would switch levels. He would throw his opponents off like that. And he just was such a brilliant fighter, man. His IQ emanated in that ring. And Pitbull Cruz, you see a lot of that in him, man. He's very aggressive, and he switches levels and throws his opponents off like that. He uses the advantage of his height to throw a lot of overhands. So you see him throw a lot of overhands, and he catches people flush, man. Pitbull's a fun fighter to watch. This is gonna be a great card, and of course you got the main event. You got the main event. You got the #1 fighter in the world, pound for pound, Terrence Bud Crawford versus Israel Madrimov. Now Madrimov, man, he's a live dog in this fight, man. This is not an easy fight. Just because some of y'all haven't heard of the name Madrimov in the past, don't get it confused, don't get it twisted. This guy is really good, man. I remember during the days of the pandemic, because there was nobody in the crowd, you could hear the thuds because there's nobody in attendance. There's no voices. So you could hear the thuds from power punches. And Madrimov was one of them dudes, man. When he fought during that pandemic, what? You used to hear bone-chilling, bone-cracking punches. Wow, wow. And he has such an awkward style. Like, he brings his arms down, he flails his arms sometimes. Like, and he throws punches from awkward angles. But it's been effective throughout his career. He's undefeated. And he's built, stacked, man. He is chiseled. He looks like he's trying to capitalize on this moment, knowing that he's fighting the best fighter in the world, Terrence Crawford. And if he could beat him, that'll catapult his name up to the top of the pound for pound list. You know, that'll definitely break him into like the top 5 if he beats Crawford. So he knows that, but Crawford knows that too. And Crawford that's why he's an all-time great, man. He's not just a generational great from this generation. He is an all-time great. Like, we're talking about Terrence Crawford's name needs to be up there with those Sugar Ray Robinsons and Muhammad Ali's and Floyd Mayweather's. Yeah, he deserves that type of recognition because he never underwhelms. Always comes to fight, always comes to entertain, and he is never backing down, man. Like, he gets people out of there. He fights top-notch opposition, and he never ducks nobody. He's been calling out Spence, what, 5-6 years before they fought? He's been looking for the big fights. So, you know, he's moving up, trying out a new weight class, so that's never easy, because you don't know how your power is going to translate when you move up. So you got to rely on your IQ. And that's the reason why he's been successful moving up multiple times. And in multiple weight classes has become undisputed. Because, yeah, and the power has translated so far. It's come up with him. But that's not always the case with everybody. Sometimes you have to have that brilliant IQ, just like Floyd Mayweather. That's why Mayweather was able to go up 5 times, 5 different weight classes, and be successful because this, you know, once he saw that the power wasn't there anymore, like in the lightweight division, you had to do this more and more defense, and the rest is history. One of the greatest of all time. So Crawford's in that same vein, and we'll see what happens when Terrence Bud Crawford meets with Israel the Monster Madrimov. I'm Wise Words Media. Peace.